This video was about the link component in Next.js applications. Now that we know how we can have different web pages and how we can have different URLs for every web page, it's necessary to know how we can link to those web pages. And of course, the easiest way is to create an A tag with some href. This is what I have done in this demo that I've created. So basically, I have some pages here, and by clicking on each one of them, I can go to that web page with some dummy data that I've prepared. Here I have career, shopping, homepage again, and every time it's showing some random dummy images. And as soon as I navigate through each of them, there's something happening. The entire web page is reloading, and you can see it in the basket badge as well. So whenever I click on one of these web pages, you can see that this indicator starts to loading the latest items in my cart. Let me try it again by maybe zooming a little. So you can see now I click and it tries to download. It seems it tries to download some data. Of course, under the hood, I've just created a set timeout to show this loading. But the idea here that whenever I navigate through web pages, I'm reloading the entire web page. Even here in the browser loading, you can see it as well. So if you come from the React background, you remember that for handling different routes, we could import all the web pages and based on the current route, show only one of the web pages. It was not an optimized version because we were forcing the users to download the entire app and show one of them at the time. A better solution was that we could lazy load the web page that we are heading into. So implementing that solution, the header remains the same, untouched, would not be re-rendered, and as soon as I navigate to another page, I try to just load the new content, which is this content under the header, and replace it with the current web page without hard reloading or without hard navigating. This is a very common practice in SPAs or single page applications, and the purpose of this video is to know how we can have them in Next.js. But first, let me explain what I've done so far in this demo. I have created a component folder that consists of header and cart. So if I open the header, you can see it consists of a simple header and a nav and some leads, and with A's. This one is pointing to the home page, shop, career, and then this cart at the right side of the page. You can see it's another component placed here. And simply I'm showing a dummy loading page, but after a second in the use effect, I'm setting the false to the loading. So when it's not loading, it shows a dummy value. It's hard-coded with 4, but you can get the idea that it's going to download some data from the server, but to make it simple, I just hard-coded something here. And also, what else do we have here? In the app folder, you can see I've created some web pages. This one we had already. I populated them with some dummy data. It is homepage, the shop as well, with some dummy data, and also career, which is kind of empty. But more importantly, if we take a look in the header component, you can see that we are pointing to different web pages using the A tag. And I can see an error is happening here, and it's coming from the project linter, ESLint from Next. And to get rid of this, which is not recommended, but to know how it's happening, if I get rid of these and I go back, you can see it's gone. And that's because by default, when we create a project, by default, it has the ESLint with some plugins from Next.js itself. And Next.js folks have created some rules that we should apply in our project in order to have a better performant Next.js application that follows all the Next.js community rules. So if I refresh or reopen this web page, you can see it's coming again. And what it says is that we have to use the next link instead of A tag. Let's try it. And here as well, I have to import. Let me import, and then we have it. Okay, sounds good. I have to do the same for the rest. Link, and this one as well. I'm replacing all the A's with link. Okay, it's very good. Starting from now, if I navigate through web pages, since we are using the link, one of the features that Next.js supports, now it gives me kind of SPA behavior by lazy loading. So if I head into the shopping, you can see it immediately download without any hard reloading or hard navigation, and as well as we don't see the basket being loaded again. I go to another page and I can do it over and over, and you can see it's working perfectly fine. So it is the very basic usage of the link. From now on, I'm going to explain more about the link and I'm going to add some details about different features it has and different properties that we can set in the link as well. But so far it's good to know how to work with this, how to deal with this, and from now on you can consider it as a senior level details that is good to know, of course, and with some corner cases that you might be interested. Otherwise, if it's fine and enough for you, you can skip this video and jump to the next topic. Otherwise, you can stay and learn more. Okay, it's good to know that a link supports all the attributes from a tag as well. As an example, we are using href. We can have also target, and it can have different values, as you can see, and all other attributes that HTML a tag has. It's good to know that href is a required attribute. If I get rid of this, it gives me an error that href is missing, so I bring it back. It also has some other attributes. I go one by one. Okay, I'm going to talk about the scroll attribute, something specific about the link component. If I try to show it to you in action, I'm on the home page, I scroll down a little, and I jumped into another page like shopping. And as soon as I jump to shopping, you can see the scroll position is at the top, which is 0. And if I scroll down in this page again, I go to another page, maybe home page again. By default, Next.js scroll the browser to the toppest level after each navigation. But what if we want to disable this behavior? We can simply set the scroll to false. So I put this scroll to false for the home page. It means that if I am in the shopping cart, I scroll down a little, and if I hit the home link, I'm expecting this much that I have scrolled down to remain and persist between navigations. Let's try. And as you can see, it doesn't bring me to the top of the page anymore. But I haven't done this for shopping. So if I go to shopping, it's scrolling me up. There might be some cases that you want this feature, so they have put this as an option. Let's try it for shopping as well. So now if I navigate through web pages, you can see it does not take me to the top of the page anymore. So this is the scroll. The next one that I'm going to explain is prefetch. And the idea of the prefetch attribute is whenever this link comes to the viewport, it means that users can see it in the browser. It tries to load this web page, which is declared in the href attribute. First of all, it should be an internal link. In our case, I can put a free prefetch attribute on one of these existing pages that I have, because these are internal links, right? Shop, career, or homepage. And second of all, we should be in production. Currently, I'm running the project in the dev mode, so it won't work if I try to run it, but we can give it a try in production. So in the sake of the demo, what I've done already, in the home page, if you scroll down, you can see I have created this go to cart. And this cart actually is a web page that I have created already. I can show it to you. In the shopping, we have a cart. It's an empty page, and I click. You can see that it navigates me to the cart page. But what I want to do is, whenever I'm on the home page, I scroll down. At this point that this link is revealed to the users, I'm kind of expecting the users might click on this. So as an optimization, again, I can prefetch the page in the background. So as soon as users click on this link, we can immediately load the web page to have a better performance and better user experience. So to make it work, I have to go to the place that I'm creating this link. It is in the home page. I have created already this link and with prefetch true. And what I have to do is to run the project in the production mode. And to do so, I have to first stop the project. I have to build the project, npm run build, and it tries to build the project. Then after successful build, I can run the project with npm run start instead of dev. So if I go up, npm run start, now I'm running the project in the production mode. Let me refresh. So as soon as I try to scroll down at some point, now it's in the viewport, and I click on this, and I'm expecting to redirect me to the cart page immediately. Let's try. And it's really fast. It's working fine. But to prove it that it's working and it's loading that web page in the background, we can retry. If I inspect the page, if I go to the network, let me zoom out a little. So there's no request in the network, as you can see, but And let me refresh and clean again. Okay, I try to scroll down until I see that link, and this one is something else. So let's try. I scroll slowly, and now something happened. So the cart (RSC React Server component), it's an XHR request. Let's take a look what is inside. If I go to the preview, you can see there are some stuff that is trying to download, and actually it is the content, the required content of the cart page that Next.js needs to render and show it to us. So I think you get the idea of Prefetch and how it works. If we try it again, as you can see, I don't see any other requests through this navigation that I have done. That was it from the Prefetch. It's a really good feature that I highly recommend to use. If you think that there might be some links that probably users are going to click on them, go and use the Prefetch. And finally, the last attribute that link gives us is replace. So I go back to components, the header component, and explain what is that. Let me close this one. We have another attribute called replace. And by default, its value is false, but I can put it to true. And if I put it to true, it means that I don't want to push this navigation to the browser history stack. What does it mean? Whenever I try to navigate through one page to another page in the simple version, not SPA or soft navigation, the browser detects that navigation, that redirection, and it adds this to its history. So if I press the back button, you can head into the latest page that you left. Also, if I right click on this back button, you can see that all the pages that I've been before. So let's try from cart, go to home. And if I open this back, you can see that the latest page create next app, or actually the cart. Or if I go to shopping, home, now that I'm on the home and the last page was shop. So if I press the back, or if I open this menu, you can see the latest page is shopping. This one. So the replace offers, there might be some corner cases that you don't want to push this navigation to the history, to the browser history. And to do so, you just simply set the replace to true. Let's try it. And also for this one, I put for everything, but it's not necessary, of course. I put for everything for demo purpose. Let's try to refresh. Now I go to home, shopping, career, and nothing happened here. So if I go shop again and again, and if I open, it remains the same. There's no history of my navigations here. But if I put one of them to true, by default it's true, of course. If I refresh, if I press this home, I expect the latest place that I left to be in the history. So let's press, and the latest place was career. So I am expecting career, yeah, to exist in the history list. So I think that's it. I've covered almost everything from the link component. There's a small topic that we'll cover later, and that's how to deal with dynamic routes. And since we haven't covered the dynamic routes yet, I don't want to go there now. But the rest, everything that I said so far covers almost all the aspects from the link component.